Hello and welcome to Love My Poland. Today is simple. I want to share 8 things about Poland. If you know them, you'll impress your Polish friends and family. You know, and when I think back over all the time I've spent here, I do have one regret. I don't have many, but this is one. I regret that I simply didn't make a point to sit down first with some real Poles living in America to get to know Poland better from many different angles. And in all my years teaching thousands of rather intelligent folks, there are some tidbits of information that I've picked up that I must share with you. Some of my newer students nowadays are always impressed that I know some of these points. Russell, how did you know that? I listen. And you know, it's really good in creating a nice class atmosphere, and it really starts off kind of our relationship well. Say whatever you want, but Poles have a lot of respect for people who are genuinely interested in their country and are hungry to learn. So today, please allow me to reveal some fun facts with you about Poland. Be advised though, they are totally random. Grab your pen and paper, here we go. For the first one, let's start off with a fun one. The name Poland or Polska has a meaning. It originates from the name of the tribe Polanie, which means people living in open fields. And here in Poland, there are many open fields. I admit it, I did not know that when I moved here. For our second point, this is a good one. There are 2 cars that most Poles hold near and dear to their hearts. They are the FSO Syrena and the FSO Warszawa. And once you've seen them, you won't forget them because they are gorgeous vehicles. The Syrena looks like this. This car was produced between 1952 and 1972. Take a look at the FSO Warszawa right here. The Warszawa was produced in similar years between 1951 and 1973. Magnificent, aren't they? Driving across Poland with friends and seeing them on the road almost always elicits a loud "oh" or "oh" from my friends. I see these cars often today used as wedding cars. Polish people love a bit of nostalgia. I will put links in my description to read more about these cars if you're interested, and there are rumors even right now that these cars could be produced again someday in the electric version. That would be so cool. For the third point, let's talk about Polish last names or surnames for a moment. If you're watching now, you don't know much about the country, and you're wondering if Polish last names all end with ski, you'll be surprised to know that the most common Polish surname is in fact Nowak. Nowak or Nowak years ago was given to the new guy in town from the Polish root nowy, meaning new. The Nowak surname was also occasionally bestowed on one who had recently converted to Christianity. You know, when you become a Christian, you are a new man, a new creation. It all makes sense. The second most popular last name here is Kowalski, which is the Polish version of our Smith. And staying with Kowalski, after so many years here, it is funny to watch the animated movie Madagascar with my kids. You know, they have the character Kowalski. My kids ask me, why are they calling it Kowalski? However, what is really worth remembering here is that last names ending with ski or ska for women meant nobility in the past. Only those from this higher class of people were given such a name. That's interesting, don't you think? Number 4, well, we can't go any further without talking about the Polish language for just a moment. I am sure you know very well that English has 3 cases, and they are the subjective, objective, and the possessive cases. But Polish, it's not so easy. It has 4 more on top of that for a total of 7. The cases are referred to as the nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, instrumental, locative, and the vocative. This will be one of the first things you learn in Polish grammar classes. And yes, Polish is challenging. It will be a real adventure for you. But I think undoubtedly, once you get comfortable in speaking some Polish, you will quickly discover that not everyone speaks the same Polish everywhere. Allow me to introduce you to Poland's largest dialects. I mean, in general, the Polish language in its standard form is quite uniform. It doesn't matter where you live. If you speak textbook Polish, you're going to be understood in the entire country by virtually everyone. East to west, north to south, it's the same Polish. Kids all learn the same Polish in standard Polish schools. However, there are 5 dialects in Poland, 5 main ones. The 5 dialects are broken down a little bit like this. You've got Kaszubski used in the Pomeranian voivodeship to the north. You've got my favorite dialect, Śląski, which is used in Upper and Lower Silesia. You've got Małopolski, which is used in the Lesser Poland voivodeship, so think Krakow. You've got the Mazowiecki, used in the Mazovian voivodeship, and you've got Wielkopolski, which is used in the Greater Poland voivodeship. I have friends living in the heart of Silesia around the Katowice area, and believe me, there are times when I am totally lost when they use some of their expressions. I think the best example is the word for sandwich. You're going to learn that sandwich means kanapka in Polish, and that's the textbook word all Poles know. But spend some time with some folks in Katowice and you won't hear that word. You might hear a word like klapsznita instead, which also means a sandwich. Fun, fun, fun. Let's stay on the Polish language a bit longer for number 5. Know that Poland has just under 38 million citizens living within Poland, but there are over 50 million Polish speakers worldwide, 50 million. So yes, Polish is a useful language to know. Outside of Poland, you can find the largest number of Poles living in these 6 countries. Let's list them in order. The USA, Canada, France, Germany, Brazil, and the UK. Those are the top 6. For number 6, Poland is home to the hardest tongue twisters on the planet. I'm convinced of that. Here's one that I still cannot master after all these years. I promise you, it will only be a matter of time before a Pole tries getting you to trip over your own tongue by having you repeat this man's first and last name. It looks just like this. This name comes from a 1969 cult movie called How I Unleashed World War II. Here's a clip of what I'm talking about. Watch carefully.
Nou, mijn voornaam? Grzegorz Brzęczyszczykiewicz. Brzęczyszczykiewicz. Grzegorz.
If you learn to say that name well, here it is again.
Brzęczyszczykiewicz.
You will certainly impress your friends and you'll probably make some new ones in the process, so do learn that tongue twister. Let's shift gears for the final 2 points. For number 7, Poles will proudly tell you that the Polish borders once reached from the Baltic Sea all the way down to the Black Sea. Now, I checked this out. I'm not personally sure how 100% accurate that is. The history is so complex here. But apparently, during the Jagiellonian dynasty, Poland was part of the Poland-Lithuanian Commonwealth. And the landmass was so large that it once stretched between the Baltic and the Black Seas. It's an incredible history. It goes without saying, I was completely oblivious to anything basically regarding the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth history. Never heard about that in school, so I had to learn it firsthand when I got here, but you will shock people if you can kind of understand what they're talking about or say a word or two about this period of time. The Jagiellonian dynasty, Poland-Lithuanian Commonwealth. For our final point, I would like to share a fascinating legend with you. Inevitably, Poles will ask you if you've ever heard of the Lech, Czech, and Rus story. It's the story of 3 Slavic brothers, the Poles or the Lechites, the Czechs, and the Ruses. Legend has it that the 3 brothers all went on a hunting trip one day. They spotted their prey, they began following that prey, and they all ended up in 3 totally different areas, eventually settling far away from one another. Lech, or Poland, ended up in the north, Czech ventured off to the west, and the Rus made his home in the east. Although there are multiple versions of this legend, the one I'm telling you now is probably the one you're going to hear most often, and it's used to kind of understand the eventual foundation of Poland, the Czech Republic, and the Ukraine, or sometimes Russia. I've heard it that way too. So just a heads up for you. If you hear anything about Lech, Czech, and Rus, you will know exactly what's going on, and your Polish listener will be very pleased. Well, those were just 8 kind of random things I wanted to share with you, things I've learned and picked up that I think really would be impressing to your friends or family. So I hope this comes in handy. I hope you took some notes. If you have not subscribed to my channel already, I would love to have you as a member of my little Love My Poland community. Click the button right here so you don't miss out on future episodes. Thank you so much for watching. Another episode's coming soon. Bye!